Actually, I avoided princess parties, and it was hard to keep me in a dress. My hero was...
People often assume that those who appear bold and confident must have a peaceful life, and that's what everyone thought about Princess Charlene. Little did they know that behind the smiles, she was losing herself because of her marriage. What do you think happened to her? Could this be preparing her for divorce? Join us as we expose what happened to the Princess of Monaco and how she reacted to it. Princess Charlene found herself in a big scandal. Right from the moment Charlene Wittstock met Prince Albert at the Mare Nostrum swimming competition in Monaco in 2000, her life changed in ways she could have never imagined. She went from a world of intense training, where she pushed her body to the limit, then to a life of sparkling tiaras, royal rules, and grand events filled with the most powerful and wealthy people in the world. This was the transformation that turned her into Princess Charlene of Monaco. But even with all the changes, nothing could have prepared her for what came after her wedding to Prince Albert. What seemed like a fairy tale love story quickly turned into a whirlwind of scandals, with each having more surprises than the last. If you have never been to Monaco, then you need to pay more attention to this little explanation. Monaco is a place of glamour, secrecy, and high status. The royal family is not just a group of wealthy people living in a palace. They are the face of the country, shaping its reputation around the world. This means that any controversy involving them doesn't just affect their image, it threatens the very charm that makes Monaco so special. Now back to Princess Charlene's story. Over the years, many rumors have surrounded the royal family that involves Princess Charlene and her husband. Even before Charlene walked down the aisle in 2011, whispers of Prince Albert's infidelity had been circulating for years. People had long suspected that he had past relationships that resulted in children, but for a while these were just rumors, so no one really cared at that time. However, as the wedding day approached, the situation took a dramatic turn. It was said that Charlene tried to escape Monaco 3 times, even going as far as seeking refuge at the South African embassy in France. Many believed she was having second thoughts about marrying the prince, and the media was quick to speculate on why. The most shocking accusations came from women who claimed Albert had fathered their children. By the time he married Charlene, he had already publicly admitted to having 2 illegitimate children, Yasmin Grace Grimaldi, born in 1992, and Alexandra Grimaldi, born in 2003. The revelation about Alexandre, whose mother was a flight attendant named Nicole Coste, was especially scandalous. The news of his existence became public just days after Monaco finished mourning the death of Albert's father, Prince Rainier, in 2005. But Albert hadn't willingly revealed the truth. His secret had been exposed when a French magazine published photos of him with the child, forcing him to acknowledge the boy as his son. For years, Albert had managed to keep his affair with Nicole hidden. He had secretly recognized Alexandra as his son after a DNA test in 2003, but he had done everything possible to keep it away from the public eye. He had provided Nicole with financial support, a luxurious home in Paris, and everything she needed, as long as she kept their secret. But once the truth was out, there was no going back. He had to admit that he was the boy's father. However, there were strict conditions under Monaco's laws, which entailed that Alexandra would never be in line for the throne. This was just the beginning of a series of scandals that would cast a long shadow over Albert's personal life and his marriage to Charlene. Even after they tied the knot, Albert's past never truly faded away. Charlene often appeared distant and sad in public, which made people wonder if she was struggling to adjust to royal life or if she was feeling the weight of her husband's past mistakes. The fact that Albert had children outside of marriage was something that could never be erased, and it remained an uncomfortable topic within Monaco's royal circle. For Albert, admitting to having these children may have been a step toward being more open with the public, but for Charlene, it was a painful reminder that her life as a princess would always be connected to the choices Albert had made before they met. No matter how much time passed, she would always have to live with the consequences of his past. And that reality was not as enjoyable as the world had always imagined. You'd probably say that the past scandals involving Prince Albert would be easier for Princess Charlene to move on from. After all, they had happened before they were married, but it was not so. She had entered the marriage believing that Albert had left his past behind and that his days of affairs were over. But she was wrong. Just 9 years into their marriage, another scandal shook their relationship. That sounds so heartbreaking. In 2020, a Brazilian woman came forward, claiming that Albert had fathered a daughter with her while he was already with Charlene. The shocking revelation sprung up old doubts about Albert's faithfulness and put their marriage under intense public scrutiny. Because of this, people couldn't help but wonder, how could a man who knew how much these scandals would damage both his reputation and his country continue to make the same mistakes? This also made people probe his marriage with Princess Charlene with a long lens, and what they found out will thrill you. So, keep watching to know what happened. Prince Albert's long history of dating models, socialites, and other high-profile women made many believe that his marriage to Charlene wasn't truly about love, but rather a political decision to bring stability to the monarchy. Some even speculated that Charlene had known about Albert's past lifestyle before the wedding, but had looked down on how deeply it would affect her. The royal family of Monaco has always been known for its elegance and grace, but this scandal was a serious blow to their image. For Charlene, each new allegation felt like a fresh wound. As more claims about Albert's affairs surfaced, the pain became harder to hide. The timing of the latest paternity scandal in particular was devastating for her. Just as she was trying to establish herself within the royal family, she found herself humiliated once again. Friends and close insiders revealed that she felt trapped in a marriage that no longer felt like the fairy tale she had once dreamed of. Over time, the strain between them became impossible to ignore. While Charlene had never been known for grand displays of affection, her body language in public events did the speaking in ways that everyone noticed. She looked tense, distant, and often appeared sad. Meanwhile, Albert continued his royal duties as if nothing was wrong, keeping his usual calm and composed demeanor, but the public wasn't fooled because they could see the growing distance between them. To the extent that things reached a breaking point in 2021 when Charlene left Monaco for an extended trip to South Africa, her home country. At first it was presented as a trip for conservation work, but as weeks turned into months, people started to question what was really going on. At this point, they had to release official statements claiming that she was suffering from a severe ear, nose, and throat infection that made it impossible for her to fly. But many believed there was more to the story. When she finally returned to Monaco, instead of resuming her royal duties, she checked into a private treatment facility. This only fueled speculation that her health, both physical and emotional, had suffered due to the ongoing stress and humiliation. No matter how much Albert tried to downplay the situation, the damage had already been done. Monaco is a place where sensitivity is valued, and having the royal family's troubles exposed so publicly was embarrassing for everyone involved. The headlines were relentless, and the weight of it all became too much for Charlene to bear. As she struggled to find her place in a marriage that seemed to be falling apart, the whispers grew louder in ways that she could probably hear. Among those rumors were questions about her readiness to finally walk away from her marriage. A divorce between Albert and Charlene would be a major blow to the image of Monaco's monarchy. It would shake the stability that Albert had worked so hard to maintain, because as the ruler of a small but glamorous country built on wealth, tradition, and prestige, Prince Albert's personal life is deeply connected to Monaco's reputation. A very public separation would not only attract media attention worldwide, but also damage the carefully crafted image of a stable royal family. This could have serious consequences, affecting tourism, investor confidence, and Monaco's standing among other European monarchies. Given Albert's history of paternity scandals and the never-ending rumors about his marriage, a divorce would only strengthen the belief that both his personal life and his leadership lacked stability. It could also make it more difficult for him to command the same level of respect and authority as a ruler. But what Albert did next was something no one saw coming. Many already believed that his marriage to Charlene was more about duty than love. Over the years, people had questioned whether their union was a true romantic partnership or simply a political arrangement. At that moment, it seemed that time to answer the people's questions finally came. Despite their public appearances showing unity, reports suggested that their relationship was held together not only by royal obligations, but also by a significant financial agreement. It was revealed that Albert had promised to pay Charlene around 12 million euros per year to stay in the marriage and avoid any scandal that could harm the monarchy. This amount was meant to compensate her for fulfilling her role as princess and continuing to stand by Albert, despite his infidelities. This arrangement benefited both of them in different ways. For Charlene, it meant financial security, access to luxury, and a defined place within Monaco's high society. For Albert, it was a way to protect his rule from the chaos and embarrassment of a high-profile divorce. The 12 million euros yearly payment ensured that Charlene continued to live in comfort, but it also came with limitations. Her role as princess required her to attend public events, perform royal duties, and always maintain a calm and dignified appearance. So no matter what she was passing through, she was always expected to suppress her personal emotions and always present a united front alongside Albert. Over the years, however, her demeanor had changed. The bright, confident woman she once was now appeared more distant, subdued, and at times even sad. Despite taking occasional breaks from Monaco, such as her extended stay in South Africa due to health issues, the financial arrangement reportedly remained in place, guaranteeing her return to royal life. Sacrificing her career and peace. With the look of things, you can tell that the emotional toll of Albert's affairs on Charlene was no small matter. When they got married in 2011, she had to completely transform her life. From being an Olympic swimmer focused on her sport, she suddenly became a royal figure constantly under the spotlight. It was just like every single thing about her changed overnight, to the extent that her appearance, her behavior, even her personal choices became a subject of public discussion. Unlike other royals who had years to prepare for their roles, Charlene was thrown into it with little time to adjust. She was expected to carry herself with grace, follow strict royal traditions, and live up to the legacy of Albert's late mother, the beloved Grace Kelly. The pressure to be the perfect princess while also facing expectations to provide an heir was overwhelming. On top of that, she had to deal with the pain and humiliation of her husband's affairs. From the very beginning, there had been doubts. Rumors went round that Charlene had cold feet before the wedding and had even attempted to leave Monaco. While officials denied these claims, the speculation only grew stronger over the years as she continued to struggle to find her place within the palace. Then, in 2021, a new challenge arose. Charlene's health became a major concern when she remained in South Africa for months, far away from Monaco. She had initially traveled for conservation work, but before long she was hospitalized with a severe ear, nose, and throat infection that required multiple surgeries. As time passed and she didn't return home, people began to question whether there was more to the story. The official explanation was that she couldn't fly due to medical reasons, but many believed she was using the trip as an escape from her troubled marriage. Photos of her surfaced online, showing her looking weak and exhausted. Even after she finally returned to Monaco, she still wasn't fully recovered. She needed more time away from the public eye to focus on her health. But despite everything, she was determined to regain some sense of purpose. The first thing she did after returning was dive back into her charity work, which had always been important to her. Now, this looks like her escape route from a bitter marriage. Let's find out how she was able to do this in a good way. Finding happiness somewhere else. Throughout the years, Charlene had been deeply involved in the things that are close to her heart. She had a special passion for helping children, promoting sports, and protecting wildlife. Her past as an Olympic swimmer inspired her to focus on water safety. And in 2012, just a year after marrying Albert, she launched the Princess Charlene of Monaco Foundation. The foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to saving lives through drowning prevention and water safety education. Since its creation, Charlene's foundation has expanded its efforts across many countries, including South Africa, India, Bangladesh, the United States, and several parts of Europe. By working with organizations like the Red Cross, Life Saving South Africa, and World Rugby, they have trained thousands of children and teachers, ensuring communities have the knowledge to stay safe in the water. Despite all the challenges she faced within her marriage, Charlene continued to find purpose in helping others. Apart from her foundation's main mission, she has also supported many other important causes. She has been involved in programs that help mothers and newborn babies, donated to children's hospitals, and contributed to emergency response efforts. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck, she actively took part in relief efforts, providing medical supplies and masks to those in need. Even though her marriage to Prince Albert seemed to grow distant over the years, their story started on a much warmer and sweeter note. So, let's take a step back. Maybe we might connect the dots on how this whole scandal started. The once promising relationship. The princess and the prince's love journey began in the year 2000 at the Mare Nostrum swimming competition in Monaco. It was there that Charlene, a talented South African swimmer with stunning blonde hair, first caught Prince Albert's attention. The way she moved through the water with such grace and confidence left a strong impression on him. Her bright smile and warm personality stood out. Looking back, Prince Albert once admitted that he wasn't sure if they had fallen in love at that moment. After all, he didn't see Charlene again for years. But he never forgot her. He remembered thinking she was not only an amazing swimmer, but also kind and friendly. After that first meeting, life took them in different directions, and they lost touch. It wasn't until 2005, after the passing of Prince Albert's father, Prince Rainier III, that Charlene reached out to express her condolences. This small but thoughtful gesture reconnected them, and from there their friendship slowly turned into something deeper. In 2006, the couple made their first public appearance together at the Winter Olympics in Turin. That event was special for both of them because of their shared love for sports. Albert later joked that he got into trouble that night for not getting Charlene home on time. She, on the other hand, recalled feeling completely at ease around him. Watching the athletes perform had made them emotional, and in that moment, they realized they had something special in common, which was sports, and it had always been a huge part of their lives. Both Albert and Charlene had Olympic dreams of their own. Albert had competed in 5 Winter Olympics as a bobsledder, while Charlene had represented South Africa as a swimmer at the 2000 Olympic Games. This deep connection to sports played a big role in their relationship and later in how they raised their children. In an interview, they even hinted that their twin children, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, might follow in their footsteps. Their kids have already shown an interest in many sports, including swimming, gymnastics, fencing, tennis, and volleyball. Prince Jacques, who will one day take the throne, has even started practicing taekwondo. As time went on, Charlene became a familiar face at Monaco's most important events. Whether it was the annual Red Cross Ball or the thrilling Monaco Grand Prix, she was always by Albert's side. Her elegance and warmth quickly won over the people of Monaco, making it clear that she was meant to take on the role of their princess. With a strong bond built on mutual respect and their love for sports, the couple announced their engagement in 2010. The following year, Monaco became the setting of a modern-day fairy tale. On a beautiful summer weekend in July 2011, the world turned its attention to the tiny but glamorous principality. It had been over 50 years since Monaco had seen a royal wedding, and this one was nothing short of spectacular. Charlene, the stunning bride, stepped into the spotlight, taking on a role once held by the legendary Grace Kelly. Her wedding dress was a breathtaking masterpiece designed by Giorgio Armani. It had the features of an elegant off-the-shoulder silhouette and was embroidered with 40,000 sparkling Swarovski crystals and 20,000 delicate mother-of-pearl teardrops. Her hair was styled in a graceful chignon, and she wore a flowing veil that added a touch of timeless beauty. She carried a bouquet of pure white orchids, which perfectly matched the stunning floral arrangements that decorated the palace courtyard. The wedding itself was a grand celebration, mixing both old traditions and modern elegance. The couple first exchanged vows in a private civil ceremony, followed by a grand religious service the next day. The palace courtyard was filled with music as a majestic orchestra played, creating an atmosphere of pure magic. As Charlene walked down the aisle towards her groom, the world watched in admiration, witnessing the beginning of their life together. Just a few months ago, the couple celebrated their 13th wedding anniversary. To mark the occasion, They shared a rare and intimate moment with the world. On the official Palais Princier de Monaco Instagram account, they posted a picture of themselves standing on a balcony with their children. Albert had his arm gently placed on Charlene's back, smiling warmly at her. It was a simple but touching image, showing a glimpse of their bond as a family. Though the journey has been far from easy, Charlene continues to adapt to royal life. Her transition from an Olympic athlete to a princess has been filled with challenges, but she remains committed to her role. With time, she has found ways to balance her personal passions with her royal duties, using her platform to make a difference. And despite the ups and downs, she continues to stand by Prince Albert's side, going through the complexities of life in the royal spotlight. Over time, people have begun to see Princess Charlene in a new light. Her strength and determination in the face of challenges have earned her deep respect, not just in Monaco but around the world. She is no longer viewed as just a beautiful royal figure. Instead, she has become a woman of depth and resilience, someone who has faced incredible pressure and personal struggles while still carrying out her duties as a princess. This change in how she carries herself could give her the chance to redefine her role within the royal family. Rather than being limited by traditional expectations, she now has the opportunity to focus on the causes that truly matter to her. As she moves forward, her future will depend on how she chooses to balance her responsibilities with her own personal well-being. This is especially important given the challenges in her marriage, including the well-known rumors of her husband's questionable affairs. Despite everything, Charlene has shown incredible grace and strength in difficult times, and people continue to admire her for it. With this, you might be wondering what her life really looked like before meeting her husband. To fully get a glimpse of it, let's explore the early days of her life before marriage. Charlene's life and career before marriage. Charlene Lynette Wittstock came into the world on January 25, 1978, at Mater Dei Hospital in Bulawayo, a city that was once part of Rhodesia, but is now known as Zimbabwe. She was born into a family that had both deep roots and an adventurous spirit. Her father, Michael Kenneth Wittstock, worked as a sales manager, while her mother, Lynette Humberstone, had a background in competitive diving and later became a swimming coach. No doubt she got her trait from her mother. Charlene's family history traces back to Germany. Her great-great-grandparents, Martin Gottlieb Wittstock and Johanna Luisa Wittstock, left the small village of Zerenthin in northern Germany in 1861, hoping for a better life. They moved to South Africa, where they took on different jobs, working with their hands, and even trying their luck in the diamond industry, though they were not successful in finding riches. Despite this, their story became part of the family's legacy, shaping the generations that followed. Many years later, in 2014, Charlene received a certificate that confirmed she also had Irish ancestry, adding yet another layer to her heritage. Charlene did not grow up as an only child. She has two younger brothers, Gareth and Sean. Gareth later built a life in Monaco, running a coffeehouse business, while Sean stayed in South Africa, working in promotions and event planning. The family experienced a significant change when they moved from Zimbabwe to South Africa in 1989. At the time, Charlene was just 12 years old. She continued her education in Benoni, a town near Johannesburg, where she attended Tom Newby Primary School from 1988 to 1991. These years were the foundation of her early life, shaping the young girl who would one day become a princess. Like you already know, Charlene Wittstock was a remarkable swimmer whose dedication and passion for the sport led her to achieve great success in her career. From an early age, she displayed exceptional talent in the pool, and her hard work soon paid off with impressive victories. In 1999, during the All-Africa Games held in Johannesburg, she made a name for herself by winning 3 gold medals and 1 silver. These achievements were just the beginning of her journey as an elite swimmer. Her talent and determination earned her a spot on the South African team for the Commonwealth Games, where she competed in both the 1998 and 2002 editions. The 2002 Commonwealth Games turned out to be particularly special for her, as she and her teammates secured a silver medal in the 4x100-meter medley relay. In 2000, she took on the grandest stage in the world of sports, the Summer Olympics, competing in the 4x100-meter medley relay as part of the South African team. She showcased her skills and determination. Though the team finished in 5th place, it was still a remarkable achievement considering the level of competition at the Olympic Games. Charlene didn't stop there. She continued pushing herself, and in 2002 she competed at the FINA Short Course World Championships in the 200-meter breaststroke. She finished in 6th place, a proof to her persistence and drive. Despite her very strict training and busy schedule, Charlene always found time to give back. She had a deep love for swimming, not just as a sport, but as a life-saving skill. Wanting to make a difference, she dedicated time to teaching underprivileged children how to swim. Her efforts meant that many children who otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity were able to develop this very important skill. Her generosity and kindness extended beyond competitive swimming, showing a side of her that was compassionate and caring. As her career progressed, Charlene made a significant move by leaving her Durban-based team, the Seagulls, to join the Tuck Swimming Club at the High Performance Center of the University of Pretoria. This was a big change, as it meant stepping into a more advanced training environment. Although she never officially enrolled in university courses, the club fully supported her by providing her with free access to their world-class swimming pools, professional coaching, accommodation, and gym facilities. This arrangement allowed her to focus entirely on her training and improve her performance. However, in January 2005, Charlene felt the need for a fresh start and decided to leave Pretoria. She returned to Durban before relocating to the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal, where she trained under Branislav Ivkovic, a respected swimming coach. Her dedication soon paid off, and on April 13, 2007, she made a strong comeback in South African swimming. Competing in the Telkom SA National Aquatic Championships, she raced in the 50-meter backstroke final, clocking in at 30.16 seconds. She finished 3rd behind Australia's Sophie Eddington and Brazil's Fabiola Molina. Although she didn't take 1st place, this achievement was significant, proving that she was still a competitive force in swimming. Charlene had her heart set on making one last Olympic appearance at the 2008 Summer Olympics in China. She wanted to compete on the world's biggest stage one final time before retiring from the sport she loved. However, fate had different plans. She was unable to qualify for the event, which was a heartbreaking disappointment for her. Adding to this challenge, she had been out of competitive swimming for 18 months due to a shoulder injury. This long break from swimming had made it difficult for her to regain the form needed to qualify for the Olympics. Despite this setback, Charlene remained a fighter. She never allowed challenges to define her. From everything you already know about Charlene, do you think her marriage was based on love or contract? Do you also think she will get over Prince Albert's infidelity scandal? Let's hear from you in the comments. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.